You understand, like, that's the same, you know what I'm saying? Like, just
One for me.
you know what I'm saying? But we need to do that though in the next.
I guess her. She got it.
We need to get it now transferred.
Yeah, she does.
Just to pull it out of that. We're done with okay. And then next thing, make a motion to move that amount of money into the savings account. We can have the next year. Okay, got it. So Tim, so basically, yes. So we'll use it to
You are?
You know what I'm saying? Like something.
Oh, yeah, I did it every time.
It's not what. Right, that's exactly yes, they talk to you, maybe. So we just do ours about that. You got it. Yeah, yeah, we can, yeah. Yeah. 32,000, $30,000. He sent me the lawyers. Hey, did you print that Larry last thing? Tammy, did you print the yeah, I think I sent it.
I don't even give you mine.
Remember, it was Larry I'm getting ready to do that. You said it was for 30,000. And he's
I got to bring him today. We got to get some business.
yeah, I got it. Yeah, it's for Parks and Rec. Did you email it or? I think I emailed it. It's no good. We just gotta talk about Parks and Rec. Okay, is it on? Okay. Here we go. Is it right here? Okay. We need to call this meeting to order. Barren County Fiscal Court, August 15th, 2023 at 9 a.m. Please call roll.
Jeff Potts.
Here.
Derek Pittigo.
Here.
Tim Durham.
Here.
Tim Coomer.
Here.
Marty Kinslow.
Here.
Ronnie Stinson.
Here.
Red Gross.
Here.
Judge Byrd.
Here. So this month is my opportunity to choose who leads our invocation this morning. I've chosen Mr. Richard Howe. He is my Sunday school teacher at Mount Olivet Missionary Baptist Church. And if you want to come hear a good Sunday school learning session, he is an excellent teacher and it has been great for my family. And Mr. Richard Howe.
Feel an honor to be here. Dear Lord God, we thank you for your many blessings you've given us. We thank you for your Son, Jesus, that he died on the cross for our sins and the sins of the world, that we might have the opportunity to be saved. Lord, help us to be good witnesses, Lord, not only in what we say, but our very behavior, Lord. Let it be witnesses before others. I pray, God, for this assembly in front of us, Jesus. Ask you to help them with their everyday life and with their jobs, so important jobs, Lord. Guide them and direct them. For these things we ask in the name of Jesus Christ, Lord, and for his sake alone. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. Okay, we need to adopt the adoption of the orders of the day. We need to approve the payment of $2,650 to Sandy Reese for the mowing for the Heistville Cemetery. I need a motion and a second.
So moved.
Motion by Tim Coomer,
Second.
second by Derek Pettigo. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Need to approve the payment of $7,370.97 to Barren Metcalf 911. Sorry. I need a motion and a second. Motion by Gross.
Second.
Second by Stinson. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Can everybody stand, please? We need to lead the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, welcome everyone today. August 15th, it's crazy, we're already into August. We have a lot of good things going on right now in Barren County, and we're excited, but thank you all so much for attending today, even our younger visitors. I love that. So we need to approve the minutes from the July 18th meeting. Need a motion and a second.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Mr. Durham,
Second.
second by Mr. Botts. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. The announcements, we have some, like I said, schools are somewhat, Barren County schools are back in session, which has kind of changed things a little bit in regards to schedules for everybody. Glasgow schools have not went back yet. We have a bunch of things coming up with sporting events and everything like that. I encourage everybody to go out and support your local schools and their athletic programs. In September the 9th, we're hosting the First Responders Ball here on the Glasgow Square. And we invite all first responders. It is free to them to attend. And anyone that would like to be a sponsor of any of that, we'd like for you to participate. It's a free dinner. And also a band will be on the square there. The same week, we also have our 225 anniversary. I cannot say the total. You want to say it? The Quabai. You got it. Thank you, Melinda. She's got it. And there's tons of events going on with that. I think there's maybe a Facebook link for all the events. So maybe participate in any of those. And they're having fireworks, I think, on the square that night at 9 p.m. So, and during the daytime, you have your farmers market and all that, and the celebration that day. There is also a beauty pageant this Saturday for the 225 year. If anybody would like to participate in that, contact the Barren County High School cheerleaders. And the other event, September the 13th, we're having right here on the Glasgow Square, is a Spirit Festival for Glasgow and Barren County schools, just a celebration. It's going to be free ice cream and free Hawaiian ice for any student that comes and wears Spirit wear or their jersey. And we would like for the community to come out. It's going to be a fun night. They're going to do interviews with the radio. We're going to have a Duncan booth. We haven't decided which magistrate's going to go up yet. I'm kidding. But it will be a great night here in Barren County. Actually, on September the 12th, we're also doing the Cave City Spirit Night as well for the Caverna students, and it'll be the exact same opportunity for them to be celebrated, and they'll have free Hawaiian ice as well, and we'll do that in Cave City. So a lot of good things. If you ever have announcements and need me to make any announcements, please let me know, and I'll make sure to get it out. Okay. Reports. Need to approve the county monthly financial report for the county judge executive for July 2023. I need a motion and a second.
Motion.
Motion by Pettigo.
Second.
Second by Durham. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. County attorney. Need to approve the county attorney monthly settlement report for July 2023.
So moved.
Motion by Coomer.
Second.
Second by Kinslow. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Need to approve the sheriff's July 2023 fee report subject to audit. I need a motion and a second. No,
Motion.
hold on 1 second. Sorry, hold on. County clerk, sorry, I skipped the county clerk one. Let's go back. We're not going to set that. Need to do the county clerk. Approve the county clerk July 2023 fee settlement report subject to audit. Sorry, they're all the same, so kind of need a motion and a second for the county clerk. Motion by Gross.
Second.
Second by Durham. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. The pen, hand me the pen. Sheriff's Office. Need to approve the Sheriff's July 2023 fee report subject to audit. I need a motion and a second.
Motion?
Motion by Botts.
Second.
Second by Stinson. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Acknowledge the sheriff's quietus, that's nice, concerning the 2022 tax year property taxes, subject to audit. Motion and a second.
I'll make the motion.
Was that Kinslow? Motion by Kinslow,
Second.
second by Coomer. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Need to approve the sheriff's July tax receipts distribution report. I need a motion and a second.
So moved.
Motion by Coomer. Second by Gross. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Department report and committee reports. Coroner, Mr. Gibson, you're good to go? Okay. Next, county clerk. Is Helena here? Oh, gotcha.
You're always hiding back there.
I like the red.
Okay, well, I'll go quick. It's great to see Mr. Howell here. I don't know if he remembers or not. I had him as a science teacher at Glasgow Middle School. He gave me detention because our class was being really bad, and he said, if anyone else makes a peep, I'm giving you detention. So we all kind of looked around, and I went, peep. So I got detention. I deserved it. I hope I'm doing better.
That's
Sorry.
right.
So just had to say, great to see you. And Miss Howell, you worked for were you a dietitian for the school system? I remember.
Yes.
It's been just a few days ago. Anyway, back to the clerk's office. You all will be happy to know we turned over $113,703 for July, and we're 58% through the year, and we're at 61% of our projected budget. So just a little something for you. I'll come back later and ask for a little something.
Okay, thank you,
Thank you.
Helena. Aaron Shirley, jail.
Morning, Ford.
Last month, we collected $6,071.26 in admin fees, $80 in check writing fees, $7,465.69 in housing fees, $2,171.69 in medical fees, and $160.61 in property reimbursement, for a total of $15,949.25. We took in 312 inmates and we released 294. For the month of July, our road crews went out and traveled 66.2 miles of picking up trash. They collected 508 bags of trash, 19 tires, 7 wildlife. Up till July, they have worked, for the month of July, they worked 5,144 inmate hours, over 47 inmates. So for a total for the year so far, they've covered 1,183 miles. They picked up 7,960 bags of trash. They picked up 310 tires, 80 animal carcasses. They have worked 41,896 hours at $15 an hour. Is $628,440 that they've saved the county in labor.
Thank
That's all
you.
I have. Thank you.
Wow, thank you.
Thank you.
Next up is Parks and Rec.
Good morning, everyone. So we just finished up our Babe Ruth 13-15 baseball league. Normally in the month of July, the park normally sits pretty idle during this month. We also partnered with the Barren County Family YMCA and their T-ball program, so we was able to generate some income at the park for the month of July. Our gate brought in $1,299, and our concessions brought in $3,958. Our 13-15 baseball league, it was a success. That league hasn't been available since prior to COVID, so we were glad for that. Say we're ramping up now with fall baseball and softball. Say our sign-ups ended at midnight at Sunday night. We had a good turnout. As of right now, the numbers to report were 427 sign-ups. I am going to open up registration for 24 more hours due to the outpour of individuals that have missed the sign-up. Right now, with the 427 signups, we brought in $20,000. It's $20,185.61 is what we brought in on registration fees for the fall softball league. We have taken over the concession stands the county has. We'll be running the concessions there at the soccer complex. And so far for the month at the soccer complex, we brought in $1,020. That's all I got.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
Okay. I was just saying, I reached out to Brian, so maybe we do another post to make sure everyone knows that signups are open. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Next up, road department.
Well, good morning, Court. Past month has been a lot of usual. Knock on wood, no major storms this time, but I'm cleaning up trees, the typical, replacing tiles. Right away, mowing, we finished up the second cycle. We started the third cycle, even with some rain. We're about a quarter of the way through. And the only other new thing would be tomorrow, our new mower's coming in to trim the trees back, which excited to have this piece of equipment. We've had breakdowns with the old ones, so we should be way more efficient. And they're dropping it tomorrow with training to follow same day. So, thank you, Court.
Thank you.
Yep. Road department still, I mean, they're continuing to impress, and we've got a lot of big things coming with a lot of our private jobs are getting ready to hit the road, and you're going to see a lot of paving going on in Barren County in the next month. Next up, let's see, Sheriff's report. Yeah. How you doing, Mr. Hodgins? Yes.
Good morning, Court.
Good morning.
Just a few things to report. We're running on average for our mileage for our cruisers, and our gas average for the month is about the same. We were up about 200 calls for the month of July, with a total of 1,316 calls for service. And I do have that breakdown if anybody wants to take a look at that after the meeting or now. I'll be more than happy to show it to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay, going into committee reports. Administrative and Budget Committee, Mr. Kinslow.
All right. Yesterday at 4, our committee met, and we didn't do any actions or, make any motions. It was mainly just a informational meeting of some topics, and I'll go over those. We talked to the administrator of the health department. He wanted to give us an overview of their budget for the year and mentioned the possibility of a taxing district sometime in the future to fund it. Right now, the money comes out of the general fund. It's not a big deal. The health department will always operate. It's just, we have different ways to fund it. There was no action taken. It was just a discussion on that and what other departments in the area do and what their rates for funding are. The other thing that we discussed was the ARPA funds that were allocated a couple of years back due to COVID. They are going to release the rest of those funds that have not been used already, and they're going to go into our budget when that money is transferred, and we'll be able to monitor that as it'll be basically the same account. It just won't be called ARPA anymore. It'll just be a separate line item that we'll be able to monitor and use for the county. The other item was the purchase of the bank building property that everybody knows that we're going to be doing. It's going to become official in the very near future, maybe in a few days. So that process is moving along. Then the next item that we discussed, we found out that there was a fee that the Sheriff's Department needed to collect due to fire dues that goes to the volunteer fire departments. It's basically just an accounting procedure that was mandated by the state, and we've got to figure out the best way to administer that and get that process done, which will be ongoing with the next issuance of the property tax bills. But there's no action we need to do other than we just know that there's going to be a little separate fee that will have to be collected for that. And the other item that we spoke about yesterday, we had Mr. Shirley, the jailer, speak to us. We realized that there might be a way to increase the pay for new jail employees, but to do that, we're going to have to create a new class of deputy at the jail with a different title. And when we do that, we'll be able to possibly save money on the retirement system pay. A little too complicated to go into detail, but by making a new classification, we will be able to save money that we put in the retirement fund, and we will be able to use that money to increase start pay for these new employees. But right now, we've also got to make sure that it's all right for the corrections department to let us do that, and that the DLG says that it's all right to do that. But we're just moving forward with seeing if we can actually do it, and if everything is legal, we will move ahead with that at a later date. So that was the end of our committee meeting. All the members were there yesterday, so we all got to listen to a lot of information yesterday that we may take action on in the future.
Thank you. Next up is Building and Property Committee, Mr. Botts.
Yes, good morning. We had our meeting this morning at 8 a.m. Tim Coomer is on our committee, and Ronnie Stinson and myself is the chairman. We're going to go down line item by line item. County attorney has to be on our agenda. He was mentioning he's cramped up for office space, so we listened to him this morning, and we're going to go try to work with some just putting our heads together and try to get him a little bit more office space. A lot of options that we looked at, so no action was taken this morning other than we're going to try to help him out on that with some of the facilities that we already have, and possibly a lot beside his lot is ours. So we'll go with just continue on trying to work on that. Line item 3, Rex Parsons, he's the owner of Bluegrass, approached to me about using the county right-of-way. He'll be wanting to tie in at the end of Old Salem Church Road. People knows Junior Martin, that's the area. Tim Durham, me and him split that. He needs to go around back country through the Hollow Road and end up at Whitty Road and tie in onto one of his existing gas lines. And the reason why, he said last winter when we had that horrible cold front that came in before Christmas, as you all know, his gas pressure with usage was really getting low, and he was very concerned. And also he has some future plans on up Highway 90 that he cannot do in good conscience because he don't have the flow and the gas pressure that he would like to have in the bad winter. So I got with Mike. He was on our agenda anyway this morning, and I just brought it up to him to get the paperwork and let us know what we need to do so the court can give him permission to use the county right-of-way. And I'll let him, if he needs to comment on that, I guess he has to do the homework. I don't know if in 1994 this bluegrass went up. Judge David Dickerson was appointed. He came on up Highway 90 at that point, and I don't know the reason. So he is bonded. He has all insurance and stuff. So we just want to get him approved so he can start getting with the homeowners. He's going to put gas meters in free of charge and get people on gas all the way to Holler Road through crossing Leak Branch. So it would be a plus for our county residents. And I guess the reason he has to have the easement, if there's some reason or another one of the owners doesn't want him to come in their property by any reasons, that he does have our easement to bank on. So I got Mike working on that. Do you have any comment on that, Mike, other than you're going to do the research?
I'll just do the research and then I'll get with the court.
We will need the next court meeting to do, so he's wanting to try to get this done by the end, winter, before winter. So we'll look for an update on that and try to get that approved, unless there's some reason that we shouldn't, by recommendation, not approve that. All right, the next, we were talking about the front of the EM building that we purchased earlier this year. We had a little company to draw up some stuff for us to look at, and we're just looking and kind of tweaking the plans like we do when we build our own home. There's a lot of members in this front end that has ideas and wants, and so we're just tweaking that and trying to get some stuff done. The people that are in the front is the coroner. Helena needs an office space for storage of election equipment, and then the sheriff needs a training room. And we've been talking about this for the 4 or 5 years that me and Tim's been on about these needs, so we're getting closer and closer. We're just trying to get everybody happy, and so we're working on that. So no action was taken other than just tweaking the plans a little more. All right, number 5 is an update. Well, 5 and 6 kind of go together, update on the U.S. Bank. I'll just let the judge take it over from here because she's been in with the HVAC issues on the phone with the Lions Company and the realtor that we're working with. Go ahead, Judge.
Yes, so there's a part that they're waiting on currently for the U.S. Bank building for the HVAC issue. And so basically what we've agreed to is that we will go ahead and sign the documents to close, that with the amendment that they will still basically pay for that part and the installation of that part once it is received. And so basically we will be signing on the papers today per fiscal court approval, and we will be basically taking over the U.S. Bank today. I would say let's wait till L to actually do the motion.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. All right. Last, the other business we brought back up that we talked about last month's meeting was the new Cave City Regional Agricultural Arena. We had, since that time, we had a meeting, the judge and myself, Tim. Ronnie wasn't able to, I think he was tied up that day, talking about the agricultural arena, and during that meeting we I guess the judge can comment on, already got a couple of the people willing to help out on our initial architectural plan of that particular one. Was going to be $35,000. We already got some, I guess, whatever contributions
yeah.
from the city. Who are they right now, so the court will know?
So thanks to the advice of Mr. Botts, we actually we tabled it in the July meeting, and we went ahead and set the meeting with Cave City Tourism and with their mayor, and we also met with Hart County, and a couple of the, I think was the one
Edmonson
mayor was
County.
there from Horse Cave, and Edmonson County Judge was there also. And it was a wonderful meeting. We had representation from your U.S. congressman and also from your state, or your U.S. senator. And our state representative was there, and it was a great kind of regional talk about an Ag Expo Center. Since that meeting, actually, Cave City Tourism has committed $10,000 to go towards the architecture plans. The city of Cave City last night at their meeting approved $10,000 also to go towards that. So we already have $20,000 collected to go towards the architectural plans for that, to get that moving, and they're very excited about it. The mayor wrote me about it again this morning, and they're ready to get the ball rolling on it, so.
Okay, so what we were talking about we were going to, everybody's wanting to know, well, what's Barren County going to put in the pot? So what we decided is that we were going to say we're going to put $10,000 in on that, so we needed that on record, so when we go to the next meeting, that's what we're going to do, and we'll probably come up with the rest, maybe with Edmonson County, hopefully.
And Hart County.
So, do we need to make that in a motion?
Yes.
To do the $10,000? So I'm going to make a motion that Barren County will commit $10,000 on the new Cave City Regional Agricultural Arena. That's how it's titled in on our plan. So, a motion for
Okay, I have a motion.
$10,000.
I have a motion by Mr. Botts. A second by Coomer. Any discussion? I will say this, I think the regional aspect of this is going to be huge for Barren County, Hart County, and Edmonson County, so. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, another item that we talked about last week, brought up in the other business, was the new Barren County Sportsplex. So kind of the same thing, we wanted to talk with the city and see what they would do to help out possibly getting this started. So our judge got with Henry, and I think he got with some of the council members, so they're committing to do half, which that's $27,500. So our part would be $13,750. So what we want to do again on showing that we're in this, so we're going to split it with the city. So I make a motion for $13,750, and that is for the new Barren County Sportsplex. And what this is doing is giving the money for an architectural firm to start with that process. So that's my motion.
Okay, I have a motion on the floor. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Gross. Any discussion? This is an opportunity for Barren County to grow, and I do think this is a great opportunity for Barren County and Glasgow sports, and Parks and Rec can work together to grow something that would be huge, not just for this county, but for also counties around us. As everybody knows, the nearest one we have is in Warren County, and they've got multiple ones. So I love starting the idea of this to provide something more for the youth in our area. So
I would make a comment. One that I've seen, I was in the last 4 years, and the last few months since the judge is with seeing the city with Chris and Recreation already coming together and unifying is why I'm very excited that we're already seeing unity and that we can work together. So this is very encouraging to me that I didn't see any of that the first 4 years, but I have seen a lot of working together, and with Henry and Miss Bewley, it's just been amazing to see the difference of working together and what we can do for ultimately our children. So that's all on my report.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on the floor. We need, let's do, you want to do roll call on that one? We'll do roll call.
Jeff Botts,
Yes.
Derek Pettigo,
Yes.
Tim Durham,
Yes.
Tim Coomer,
Yes.
Marty Kinslow,
Yes.
Ronnie Stinson,
Yes.
Brad Gross.
Yes.
Okay, thank you all. Motion carries. Any more, Mr.
That's
Botts?
all. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you. Next up is Emergency Management Solid Waste Committee, Mr. Stinson.
Emergency Management Solid Waste Committee met 8/14/23. Members present, Garland Gillum, Marcus Thurman, Derek Credigo, and Tim Durham, and myself. Most of it was just a brief operations report with the solid waste. Mr. Thurman wants to present the letter abatement grant application and talk about it. And also, he wants to talk about this possibility of a household waste collection in the future. So, Mr. Thurman.
Good morning, Court.
Morning.
The litter abatement is actually on the new business. That's actually a calendar year grant. We got it listed as fiscal year, but it's actually a calendar year. It's something we do every year to help offset the cost for like our equipment, our trailers, our trucks, skid steers, trash bags, stuff like the jail uses, doing their cleanups with their road crews. Last year we was awarded a little over $55,000. We won't know the total dollar amount until after November 1st, whenever the grant actually closes. We just need permission and approval for Jamie to sign the documents so we can get them sent in. The other thing is the household hazardous waste collection. The city's actually putting that on this Saturday. That's anywhere from like oils, pesticides, different household chemicals you can go and dispose of that you're not supposed to put in your normal weekly trash pickup. The county, as far as I know, hasn't participated directly, controlled that grant. Next year when it opens up, I'll probably come in February, March time whenever it opens up to ask for us to actually spearhead a event. The city will get one as well, but we'll at least try to have 2 events next year, so just a heads up.
And the response on those were huge.
Yes.
Yes, you definitely need those.
We've actually shared the household waste collection that the city's doing this Saturday on Facebook, so just trying to get the word out.
Thank you, Marcus. Next up, we have Parks and Rec Committee. Mr. Pettigo. Or sorry, Jail Committee, did you want to say anything, or since your meeting?
No, I just,
Okay.
we didn't have a meeting this month. Barren had took care of some business through Hart and Metcalf, or it's Monroe and Metcalf, but he's done a very good job on it. I want to commend him for it. He's always reaching out for the best of the jail, but we did not have a meeting.
Okay. Next up, Mr. Pettigo with Parks and Rec Committee.
Parks and Rec Committee met yesterday morning at 10 a.m. August the 14th. We discussed additional parking at Jackie Brown Park for the football field and a new entrance for the football field. I'd made the motion for Larry Glass Construction for $30,000 to do the parking lot and the entrance.
Before we can discuss, I need a second. Second by Mr. Stinson. So basically, this is providing another entrance there at Jackie Browning Park. We're working with the road department to make sure there's enough of a clear zone there to be able to add that additional entrance. The problem we run into at Jackie Browning Park, this isn't anything that's new. It's been a bottleneck pulling into there. People getting backed up, trying to get into fall ball, trying to get into football, and everyone kind of in the same area. So we're trying to create another entrance for the football program, and that way, and add a parking area in addition to what they already have. So we spoke to them yesterday also to discuss the option to make sure it didn't cause anything different on them, and they said that they were willing to work with us to make sure it worked better for everybody involved. So that's what's on the floor right now. Any more discussion? And they also, Larry Glass Construction also said they would add, we need a little bit more of a, I think there's a trench there to add, and they're including in that plan to add a walkway created there, like a bridge type. So $30,000, Larry Glass Construction. And actually they said they could get it done before, hopefully, Labor Day. So, any more discussion? Sure. Okay, roll call vote, please.
Derek Pettigo,
Yes.
Tim Durham,
Yes.
Tim Coomer,
Yes.
Marty Kinslow,
Yes.
Ronnie Stinson,
Yes.
Brad Gross,
Yes.
Jeff Botts.
Yes.
Motion carries. You good? Anything else, Mr. Pettigo?
We also discussed shade structures for Field 1 and 2 for the 2024 ball season. That's it.
Yeah, just to follow up on what he was saying, we've got some ideas for Jackie Browning Park, but everything, of course, takes time. And we're now focused on the spring of 2024 to see some new things out there. So we've got some things moving. So next up, Transportation Committee report. Mr. Coomer.
Transportation Committee met yesterday morning at the Road Department. We had Mr. Richardson, our county attorney, and we had the building inspector and our planning guy, Kevin Myatt, all there discussing the tile ordinances. We're still working on that. There's some legal aspects. Of course, I mentioned last court meeting, we're having problems with people putting driveways in and not putting tiles, which is causing flooding in other places. So we're trying, I know a lot of people don't like, we'll say that's more government involvement, but if we don't, sometimes people just abuse things. So we're trying to make it where people, before they build a house or anything, have to get approval from the county for a certain size tile to put in. We've had some people go in and build these subdivisions and not put any tiles in and then cause flooding for their neighbors, and it's just the right thing to do, but there's a lot of stuff we got to search out and make sure we do it the proper way. So we're still working on that. The next item of business we discuss is, as it is now, the road department, anything over $3,000 has to come before the court. As everybody, that's been that way for several years, and everybody knows that prices have just skyrocketed on everything. The problem we have with that, if we have a tractor, we have a piece of equipment down, and we can't tell them to go ahead and fix it if it's $3,100 because we got to wait a month for a court to meet and approve it. So what we're wanting to do, and it's going to be a motion that I make a motion that we change that limit from 3,000 to 7,500 after it's gone through. I know Mike needs to do a little research on that to make sure maybe a new ordinance of some type. But so I don't really, should we just wait on that, me making a motion for that until you do that? Okay. Yeah. Okay. But that's what we're looking to do because it's just holding up a lot of progress in the county not being able to pay those bills. That will, help us a lot. The other thing, we're going to participate, something we do every year in the salt auction. We're going to try to make sure we have enough salt to do us the whole winter. If we do have a bad winter, hopefully we won't. And concerning that, I am going to make a motion here to accept the bid of NCI Forming for building a surplus salt storage facility. It'll be approximately 30 by 40 with 9.5 foot concrete walls, concrete floor. It's going to be able to hold about 300 ton of salt. So we'll always have, 500 ton or to 600 ton available before winter starts. That way, if we do have a bad winter and there's a shortage or they can't get the salt hauled here, we'll always have something we won't have to worry about.
So you made
I'm making the form of a motion that we accept NCI forming at a price of $35,020 for this building. It is, like I said, it will be concrete walls, 9.5 foot, 10 inches thick, and then the floor will be concrete, and then it will have a hoop top on it, which a lot of people, you see this out in the farming community, people store hay, it's just a canvas top, but those things are I think they have maybe I don't know, 30-year warranty or something on them. They're really tough. It's nothing unless, anything that will destroy that would destroy a metal roof, and it's more economical. But my bid is to accept that price.
Okay, so we have a motion on the floor for the NCI forming, $35,020. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Second, was that Mr. Pettigo? Okay, second by Pettigo. Any discussion? Do a roll call vote.
Tim Durham,
Yes.
Tim Coomer,
Yes.
Marty Kinslow,
Yes.
Ronnie Stinson,
Yes.
Brad Gross,
Yes.
Jeff Bott,
Yes.
Derek Pettigo,
Yes.
Motion carries.
Next line item was of course, as everyone knows, we're just having a lot more, it seems like, floods than we used to. This county is covered with low water forward, and we're slowly trying to replace some of them and make them better. The worst one and the worst condition that we have now in the county is actually Happy Hollow Loop. I'd like to make a motion that we put out for bids because this is going to be an item. And of course, we are going to reach out to the state, the road department for grants. We'll do everything possible to save us money. We might even be eligible for the emergency money. But it's going to be over procurement limits went from 30 to 40, but this will probably be over 40. So we're going to have to put it out for specs. So I'll make a motion we draw up the specs and put it out for bids for this low water forward.
So I have a motion and a second for Happy Hollow Road.
Second.
Second by Durham. Discussion on this, just to explain too, he's talking about emergency funding. We had been approved for $100,000 emergency funds last fiscal year and for Ramp Road, and we actually, by research, and we got more people involved, that project ended up coming in below, like by $40,000. Actually, it came below $140,000 than what we had originally planned. So we have more money to spend, and we're going to hopefully be able to put that towards anything we do with this project. So, okay, any more discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
The only other thing I have is what our road supervisors mentioned. We are supposed to take delivery of the Mower Max tomorrow. And the training, this is a piece of equipment, as Jamie said, we've been looking forward to having. It's a constant issue with keeping these roads trimmed, the limbs, and a lot of dangerous limbs. But this thing will not only be able to mulch the sides of the roads, but we have a lot of dead limbs in the county. They're hanging over the roads, very dangerous for everyone. This thing has a 25-foot arm with a saw blade that we can actually reach out and cut these limbs off, and it's just a really good addition to our road department. We're training people. The guy comes down. I'm really impressed with how they do it. They actually go over, first thing they do is show employees how to grease it, which maintenance is number one thing. We're going to try to train about 3 or 4 people. Only those people with the training will be allowed to use this piece of equipment, but it's a great addition to the road department. I invite anyone to go after tomorrow down and visit and give it a look.
Yeah, it'll be an exciting day. Yeah, for that, and you can tell a big difference what the state transportation has done on just your main, your state roads where they've cut the trees back and the difference it makes. So anything we can do to make safety a top priority, I'm excited about it, and I can't wait to see all of y'all going crazy about this new piece of equipment out there tomorrow. Yeah. Okay, so next up, I guess that's all of our committee reports. Any old business? There's no old business. Now we're into new business. Approve the American Rescue Plan Act, state and local fiscal recovery fund expenditure approval. Prepared by Stites and Harbison, PLLC, and Compass Municipal Advisors, LLC. I need a motion and a second before I can discuss. Motion by Mr. Kinslow. Second by Mr. Stinson. Okay, to explain this. So we've actually taken all the opportunities we can to go out to meet with other county judges and go through all these trainings, and through that I've been able to meet a lot of great judges and people in the programs in Frankfort, and I sat down to discuss with them some of our ARPA. And we actually, and I think it's been, was it 3 months ago or 2 months ago, we hired Stites and Harbison and Compass Municipal Advisors to look at our ARPA spending. And they were able to look just at a general view of what we've spent in normal spending over the last year, and we were able, it was the last year and a half, we were able to count like salaries and deputy position salaries and all these things that you could have counted all along towards your ARPA spending. And by doing that, by their review, we have spent, just by our regular spending, the ARPA money. We still have the ARPA money, which is great, but they have certified that all of these expenditures, have qualified as ARPA spending. So now we are able to close out the ARPA requirements because we've met all of them, which is around I've got the amount that they have and all the information that they've given us, but they were able to count $4.829 million of our regular spending towards ARPA. So ARPA at this point now is a completed program, and we are now able to move those funds into our general account, which long term we are wanting to, once we move them into the general account, then we'll be able to move some other money back into a savings account. We'll do that at the next meeting. But this is great news because, all along your normal expenditures as a county can count for ARPA spending. So that's a big deal for Barren County. So looking forward, I wish that we could have kind of done some of that stuff to begin with to really make sure we spend it, and so now we're able to move that money into the general account. So any more discussion? I just need to explain that. Okay, so we have all this legally done too, and everything signed off on by Stites and Harbison. And we'll do a roll call vote to approve the American Rescue Plan Act State and Local Fiscal Recovery Fund expenditure approval.
Is there a motion?
Oh, there was a motion, yeah, before I could talk, yeah. Kinslow, yeah. Okay.
Tim Coomer,
Yes.
Marty Kinslow,
Yes.
Ronnie Stinson,
Yes.
Brad Gross,
Yes.
Jeff Bott,
Yes.
Derek Pettigo,
Yes.
Tim Durham.
Yes.
So, okay, need to approve the transfers of the monies from the ARPA fund bank account into the general fund bank account. I need a motion and a second. Motion by Gross. Second by Kinslow. And just to follow up again, this is money, this is being moved into the general fund, and then we will create another checking account to move it into for savings so that we know that it's there and it's not just sitting in the general. But in the general account, it will also be gaining interest also. So it will still be gaining interest. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Okay, I need to approve the payment of claims as presented.
Motion?
Motion by Botts.
Second.
Second by Durham. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Need to approve the transfer of funds. I need a motion and a second.
So moved.
Motion by Coomer,
Second.
second by Pettigo. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Acknowledgement, receipt, and approval of personnel actions. I need a motion and a second. Motion by Stinson. Second by Gross. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. We need to approve the payment to the City of Glasgow for half of the animal control expenses for fiscal year 2021-2022. I can explain once I have a motion and a second.
So moved.
Motion by Coomer,
Second.
second by Kinslow. The way and again, I learn something new every day. So this is the way they've always done it. They have an audit done of the expenditures for the animal control. That audit is then sent to the city and the county, and that's how it's done. So, because I myself even questioned the years on it, and they said, no, that's actually what that is. They just got the audit back for that fiscal year, and it is more than we have in the budget. because I don't know why they'd not increased that amount. But the mayor basically said, based upon what they're seeing, it's about $150,000 on average of what we would need to budget for that. But the total amount on this one is $146,368.50. So this came as a, as a kind of a, you think we have not paid anything on since fiscal year 2020-2021. And that's what this invoice is for, so.
That's the county's half.
That's our half, correct. Yep.
Previously, you don't know what it was the previous.
Do you know what it was with the last time we paid on this? Do you know?
That's okay.
Does it say?
That's, no. The second page underneath here. That was paid out fiscal year 21-22 to them.
We paid $125,029 in the fiscal year 2021-2022.
So that could have been.
That could have been for previous years. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So I guess that's why, what they had set the budget at, the $125,000 was probably why. But realistically, just like everything else, it's increased to now, after the audit, to $146,368.50. Again, this is something that I've kind of walked into, and the county has, I guess, committed to do half of those expenses. And if that's what we're continuing to do, this is the amount that we owe. So, any more discussion? Okay, roll call vote, please.
Marty Kinslow,
Yes.
Ronnie Stinson,
Yes.
Brad Gross,
Yes.
Jeff Bott,
Yes.
Derek Pettigo,
Yes.
Tim Durham,
Yes.
Tim Coomer.
Yes.
And as a county, if we want to look more into that agreement, we can, and I'm open to ideas on that, if you have concerns or any kind of, so, gotcha. Thank you all. Next up, need to approve the purchase, $4,995 or lease, 63 months at $109.90 of post-base Vision A5 mailing system and approved meter rental fee and maintenance contract. It's a lot of words, sorry. Need a motion and a second. Motion by Stinson,
Second.
second by Coomer. Any discussion?
Yes.
Do you want to, we need to decide if we're going to rent it or lease it on that. So, pay for it or lease it. Is there a difference?
Well, $49.90.
I think though, is that just splitting the payment up? That's just splitting the payment up.
That's the full price of it if you buy it, and then 109.90 is a month for 63 months.
I know, but I'm just saying, I think
I
that's
don't know. I didn't do that.
divided by 63. Go ahead.
Is this for Helena's office or the sheriff's office or?
Is
It's
this,
the one in your office that all of us use.
it's that, I think it needs to be updated. It's out
The
of,
one that you have is no longer supported by the U.S. Postal Service.
So it's not mine, it's
Okay.
the whole
How-
county.
everybody
Yeah.
uses it,
The
yeah.
sheriff uses it for,
Right, we all have our own little code that we code it, so we're all billed their offices for postage. It's not mine.
It's just in your office, yeah.
They probably use it more than anybody.
The,
Who are we actually getting this from? What's the company?
The name of the company is Tri-State Mailing Systems, Inc. And
is it the same company
it's
we've
the
been
same
using?
company, and it's basically the same machine, only newer. And it's approved by the U.S. Postal Service.
so we don't have a choice, really.
Well, we got to get a new one because the one down there, we can't continue using it. At the end of the year, it's out.
Okay.
We cannot use it.
Did they come and say that to us?
Yeah.
Who told us
They
that?
did, this guy, I've talked to him a lot.
Helene, do y'all ever have any problems, like the difference in the lease, I'm sure, is the maintenance agreement?
So I'm not familiar with the lease on those.
Because it's done here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The sheriff's
Right.
office takes
But-
care of all that.
The maintenance.
But I'm saying, do you ever see them come work on it?
When we
But is that very often?
I mean, I don't know if we looked into finding another vendor for that machine. I don't have any, I haven't done any of that. The only thing we do is when the postage is low, we'll call the judge's office and they'll load it in and then we push the buttons to make it happen. That's our job with it. And
We pay, the fiscal court pays for the postage, and then
Right. I understand. I'm just trying to figure out.
It says here, basically,
that's the new machine.
the present one that we have was purchased on April 20th, 2017. And the one that we're needing to purchase now is $4,995 or a 63-month lease through Great American Financial Services at $109 per month. Basically, it's not really it's just basically a split up your plan type money part.
Well, you're paying.
Right. The meter rental is $52 a month if the equipment is purchased. So we're purchasing the equipment, correct?
Is that what y'all want to do?
No, I'm just saying, if you purchase the equipment, then you have the $52 a month rental,
So you still got 52.
right?
That's for the meter.
The meter. And then
Not
the
the equipment.
and a maintenance contract of $195 per year and guaranteed for 5 years. It seems to me you're gonna have, on top of that, you'll have another $624 a year
Which we're
for the
already,
meter rental that we already are paying, plus $195. Also,
that we pay.
that they will come to maintenance it as well. So it's a total of $800. So you purchase it for $4,995, and then you'll have an $819 a year payment total.
Still cheaper.
Yeah.
Please.
Well, and I
No, I
guess,
think you have to purchase though. It says the meter rental is $52 a month if the equipment is purchased. So what happened if you do the lease, then it's included in the lease?
I did not ask.
There's something strange there, 'cause it's $2,000 less if you purchase it.
Well, I think it's because you're paying an interest
And
if
it,
you lease it.
Yeah.
yeah.
And
I guess,
some counties don't have
Hash- and I would.
$5,000.
Okay, basically, if you rent it, I think the meter rental is included. That's the difference I can tell.
Can we just do a little more research and put this off for next month? Will that give us?
I mean, yeah, that's fine. We were gonna have to do it though. How long does it take to come in?
Well, ours is already, it's not under warranty or anything anymore. We're just using it on hoping it makes it. And by the end of the year, it will not even be usable.
Right.
So they're just wanting to go ahead and get, I mean, y'all can do whatever you want to do, but they're just concerned, that we need to go ahead and get it done. But I can check other places.
Well,
or
let's just get
whatever.
to make sure we understand the rental part of to make sure what the best total is for a year, for the purchase. And we'll bring this back in the September.
Okay.
Sound okay? So I need to
That gives us
table,
plenty of time.
yeah, so do I need to
Just-
table that motion? Or how do I do that? Just table it, pass it to the next, okay. Okay, we'll table that, we'll come back to that, but we'll get that done hopefully in September, so that way they'll have it in time.
Do we
Okay?
have to make a motion to table it?
That's what I'm asking. Okay, I need a motion to table it. Motion by Gross, second by Coomer, to table that. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Okay, next. Need to approve Barren County continuity of government resolution. I need a motion and a second.
So moved.
Motion by Coomer,
Second.
second by Pettigo. Discussion on this. This is just a document that needed to be signed, basically, if something were to happen to me, that we have a plan in place as to that government can continue to run. So that's pretty much all it is. I need a motion and a second. Very motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Approve the second reading and adoption of ordinance number 682, additions to county road system, Annette Lane, Christopher Avenue, and Jessica Avenue. Motion by Gross. Second by Kinslow. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Next up, need to approve need to approve to renew the Austin Boat Ramp Road lease with the U.S. Corps of Engineers and authorize Judge Executive Byrd to sign documents. I need a motion and a second.
So moved.
Motion by Coomer,
Second.
second by Pettigo. Any discussion? Basically, this is, we've always done this, and I will say this, Marcus did an excellent job of getting that looking phenomenal, and this is something that we've always done, and the Army Corps of Engineers reach out if there's ever an issue, and I think we're good to go right now. So, thank you, Marcus. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Approve the county request and agreement for litter abatement program grant funding, and it said it's not fiscal year, it's calendar year. I need a motion and a second.
So moved.
Motion by Coomer,
Second.
second by, who was that, Pettigo?
Yeah, Durham.
Durham, sorry. Second by Durham. Sorry, you couldn't hear. Any discussion on this? Just make sure we spend all the money. Pretty much that's where I'm at. Okay? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. That money comes directly from the state and is for Barren County to spend on cleaning up Barren County. Need to approve and authorize Judge Executive Byrd to sign the option agreement on the property purchase. Need a motion and a second.
Motion.
Real quick, I want to add to this motion. Okay, we need to add to the motion with the amendment that the part that the U.S. Bank has committed to replace when it comes in will be replaced. They will cover the purchase of the part and the install. They have an amendment coming for me to sign that they have approved. So,
Do we have to have a motion on the original before we amend it?
do you want to do that? Do we need to do it that way? Or can we put it on? Okay, so we'll do a motion right now to sign the option, and then we'll do a motion to add the amendment, okay? So the motion right now is to sign the option agreement for the purchase, for the property purchase.
Motion.
Motion by Botts,
Second.
second by Coomer. Discussion, this is the U.S. Bank property. We are purchasing this property for $1.1 million. The health department will reside in this building, as well as our home inspection, your planning and zoning, BITS, and other potential government entities, and it's a phenomenal purchase for Barren County. Okay, we'll do a roll call vote on the option.
Ronnie Stinson.
Judge,
Yes.
don't we need to amend it?
Do you need the amendment with that? Do we do the amendment before we vote? Okay, I'm sorry. So we need a motion and a second to add the amendment?
Motion.
Okay. Motion by, that was by Gross and by Stinson to add the amendment that U.S. Bank is responsible for the part and install that they have committed to do for the HVAC.
They're having us send their document.
They're sending us a document, correct, yes. Okay, so now we have sorry, this is a different one I'm not used to doing. Okay, so we've got the motion for the first one and the second. We've got a motion and a second with the amendment. Now we're ready to vote? Got it, okay. So, we'll do a roll call vote.
Ronnie Stinson.
Yes.
Red Gross.
Yes.
Jeff Botts.
Yes.
Derek Pettigo.
Yes.
Tim Durham.
Yes.
Tim Coomer.
Yes.
Marty Kinslow.
Yes.
Motion carries. Sorry for the confusion, that was a new one for me. Okay, need to approve the jailer's request to increase the jail housing fee for Monroe County and Metcalfe County by $5, and that is per day per inmate, correct? Just making sure that's worded correctly. From $40 to $45 per day.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by, was that Mr. Durham?
Yes.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Who's that?
That you, Coomer, second by Coomer. Any discussion? Okay. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Need to approve the joining of the Regional Opioid Coalition, Barren River Area the Brad District, Med Center Health, and Barren River Health Department and Life Skills Incorporated. I need a motion and a second before I can discuss.
So moved.
Motion by Coomer. Second by Stinson. Basically, this is, we're getting money for the opioid lawsuit. We got 90-some thousand, one check, and then we just got a recent check for 18. And we're going to continue to get more money in this year with that, and all your counties are receiving that. The Brad District and the Health Department and some other entities have joined together, and they're going to get together in September. Any of the magistrates that would like to attend, The meeting is September the 18th from 11 to 2 at the Corvette Museum in Bowling Green. And to participate in this meeting and to be a part of this as a county, it's $1,000. And that is basically coming together to say that, you know, trying to figure out a regional approach to the opioid issue versus just a county. Doing it kind of individually and putting all your resources together to figure out what's the best options. So that's it. Does anybody have any questions? So basically, we're approving the $1,000 today just to join the coalition. Got it? Okay. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Need to approve the purchase of security camera system for the voting machine storage. I need a motion and a second before Helena can explain.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Kinslow. Who's the second? Durham. Seconded. So Kinslow. Got it. Okay.
Okay, so just first, I want to kind of inform you all in case you don't realize how important the integrity of this process and the security of our election equipment has become over the last year. It's always been super important. It's probably one of my greatest or biggest jobs as your county clerk is to protect the integrity of this process for voting in our county. It has almost gotten out of control what has been asked of us as county clerks. In the last year, the legislators voted to approve that we now have to have security for 30 days following any election. There's actually a KRS. We have to have video surveillance. The system that is used to conduct the video surveillance shall have enough storage capacity to retain 60 consecutive days of continuous recording data. So last year, when that became law, this was our first election to have our equipment under surveillance. So we've always done everything we can do at the county barn where our voting equipment is stored. I hope you all realize our equipment is stored at the county barn in a room that other individuals have to access throughout the day and throughout the week. It is not 100% secure, but we do everything we can. So we across the state, everyone kind of was like, didn't know what to do about surveillance. So some folks were using like deer cameras and some went with big companies and then some just went in the middle, kind of what we did. So we went on, the sheriff and we sat down and the emergency management director at the time, and we went on Amazon and we looked at surveillance equipment and made a purchase. We thought it was going to be great. The cameras were installed, everything. We bought a hard drive that was large enough to store the data we needed. Everything seemed to be working fine. So we used it, and we do go as far as our equipment at the barn. We even went and I went out and bought a large tarp, so we cover it. All of our machines are covered by this large tarp when they're not in use or when they're in the storage time. So that way, if anyone just moves it, we can see them like physically move it to, you know, that they're touching the equipment. So we used the security. It was great. Everything was working great. And then I went in to download the data because I have to retain it for 22 months, and it wouldn't download. So I could see it. First crisis we had was must have been a power outage, so our time was off. It was off by like about 15 hours. And then this data I could not get to download. So I took it to, what's it called? BK Technologies. They were super awesome to work with, and they tried. And they said, Helena, it's here. We see the data that we need, but it just won't download. So the biggest crises with that is myself, along with all the county clerks across the state, got hit with open records requests. These individuals, if you'd like to know more about them, I'm happy to tell you. I won't tell you right now, though. But there's a group that basically it's their job to attack county clerks in Kentucky and whatever they're called around the United States. But they want all this information from us, and one of the things they wanted video surveillance starting the day before election for 24 hours. and I can't give them that because I can't download it. Now, if they want to come in the office and look at the hard drive, I'm going to keep that hard drive for the next 22 months. But with all that being said, at this point, it's become a very desperate thing, and I want to make sure that we're always in compliance with the law and able from now on to always provide anything that folks may ask us per this requirement. So I've sat down with a couple of professionals in the field, and one of which was StarTel Systems. Met with them. They did a great presentation, and they offer cameras that actually store the data on the camera for enough I can buy the camera that was have enough storage for 30, 60, 90, 120 days. Plus, it has a cloud that the data goes into for storage, cloud storage. So I wouldn't have to worry about a hard drive malfunctioning or loss of the data if we had some sort of a power outage or anything like that. They have other options where we could tie in with the system that the county barn already has, because StarTel is who they have their security system with down there. But we would have to put in separate hard drives and do a few things. It's about $1,000 difference, but this would be a little more secure. And my hope is that you all are working very hard to get us that storage room. It's not going to be an office space for me at all. It's completely storage for our security of our voting equipment at the new emergency management storage facility. My hope is to move that. I want cameras that can just easily be moved, and they assured me they would take care of all that once we had that storage room ready. And I encourage you to get it ready for me by the first year when our new equipment's coming in, because you all, we have around $1 million worth of equipment that could be ruined at any time down there with a flood. And I know Mr. Kinslow went down and looked at it. Water comes in the room where our voting equipment is. So if you want to help save the voting equipment, get that new storage facility or get us some storage facility. And I've looked back at the county board minutes many years from now, prior to me, we have asked for a storage room for our voting equipment. So all that, but I need this equipment. It's around $2,800 for a security system. And then we would, after this year, then we would have a $360 cost annually to continue the service with StarTel. I do think they're extremely professional, very knowledgeable. They pulled the KRS themselves and read what the requirements from the state were, and this is not going away. The only thing that's going to happen is it's probably going to get more strict. And there's no doubt in my mind by November we're going to get hit with more open records, and they may want to see the full 60 days this time. I don't know what they're going to ask for, but whatever that is, I want to be able to download it and give it to them on a flash drive with the popsicle or something.
And you can move it to the new facility?
Yes.
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 Yep.
I can move it, and we don't ever want to be in a situation where it's like, you know, we're working on it ourselves and we can't provide it because it just won't work. And these individuals are experts and have assured me that they would work with me to download anything I needed throughout the whole process. And I would have the ability to see this, the cameras remotely, so whether we could download that information onto my cell phone or the desktops at the office, so that we can, you know, the equipment may be at the county barn or at the new storage facility, but I'm at the county clerk's office and I can look in on that equipment anytime I want to. And they have the ability to set where we'll have 2 cameras, which we have now, and it's, you know, we have great view on those 2 cameras, but they can set perimeters where if someone opens a door, that's when, you know, it starts recording right then, or we can have it where it records all the time. But it's a very advanced system, way more advanced than I can do. But I just want to be able to give those individuals that want to know what's happening, I want to give them all they want, a little extra.
So we have a motion and second on the floor to approve the security camera system for the voting machine storage Total is $2,800.
It's less than that, but I'm just rounding up.
Round-
And I did talk with Mandy, and we do have the money in the elections budget for this purchase.
Okay. Thank you. Anybody have any questions?
What system are we using now? Is it through StarTel?
No, the system that we purchased
Just
just
a
to be in
private.
compliance was we just bought it on Amazon and then bought the hard drive to go with it. We didn't spend, I mean, it was less than $300, and we were just trying to save money. We didn't think we had to have, a surveillance company, but also didn't know that we were going to run into so many hiccups. And I never anticipated, nor did anyone across the state, we didn't anticipate open records of the surveillance. But we have to protect ourselves. We have to protect the folks that are working with this equipment when we go in to inspect it and to do anything with this. Whether we're cleaning the machines out, we just want everything. We want people to be able to see everything we do. And if anybody wants to come down and take a look or be there with us when we do those things, let me know.
StarTel will move the equipment to the new storage facility.
They'll move the surveillance equipment, yes. They said they would. And, I mean, they are so professional. And I was, just the fact that they took the time themselves to look up the KRS and see what the requirements were, and then show me the system that would, they gave me two options, but this one with the cloud storage really was impressive to me because I just saw how a hard drive can malfunction.
Thank you. I think we're good. Yeah. Okay, we'll just do an all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Closing remarks. I would like to introduce everybody Mr. Matt Pettigo. I should have done that last meeting. He's our new grant writer from the Brad District. And he and I, so any of you magistrates have any questions or any ideas, please make sure to sit down with Mr. Pettigo, and we want all the grants we can get, right? Okay. Thank you again. Thank you all so much for today. It's been a great meeting. Thank you again to Mr. Howell and Ms. Howell for attending today. It means a lot to me personally. I need a motion and a second to adjourn this meeting.
Hey, Jamie.
Yes?
You got Danny.
Oh, sorry. We didn't have anything on the agenda, sorry. Yeah, you, 2 minutes. That's all I can do. I mean, I don't know the topic. What's the topic? Okay, go ahead. 2 minutes. There's just, the reason, sir, we can't put them on the agenda because there's not a lot that we can do about it here in the courtroom. So,
Start out with the last time I was up here, I requested some information on the jailhouse property. I didn't get it, so I suppose that was denied.
I mean, I can't provide, we don't have it. I mean, I don't have what you're asking for. I think that's the problem, yeah.
Okay, I passed out some papers to each one. One of them is adverse possession, which is not very important to anything to me. I read it. Can't make heads or tails out of it except the date on it. It is on the jailhouse property. And to me, it says they don't have true titles to it.
Did you have the surveys done again?
No, I have not had the survey done. Another paper here is where the building was built. I've drawn on it where the survey is wrong. My dad sold this property off to the Sampson Company, and it shows on, if you look at the bottom of the thing, a edge of concrete wall. It's 1961. He sold off to that point and put in the foundation around this thing. And after that was in, he sold them 20 more feet, which I've got marked off. That other property, it goes down. The surveyor shows it being their property, but it is not. And there's another section in there. But I understand you people didn't have anything to do with this. It is county property, and it's a disaster. And one more, I'm gonna request one more thing. You didn't honor the other, I don't guess you will this one. 1961, my father sold this property off to the Sampson Tobacco Sales. I'd like to have it drawn out to scale. It will verify what I've got drawn out there. Like I said, you had nothing to do with it, but you should want it solved. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dan.
Yeah.
I do have one more question. How do I get on the agenda?
Basically, you'd have to have I typically don't put anything on the agenda unless it's something that the magistrates come to me about. Sorry.
You have to go through a magistrate to get on the agenda.
Well, if it's something that basically we're going to vote on or we need to talk about, there's just not a lot that we can do in fiscal court regarding your issues. That's why we can't really put it on the agenda.
I just requested information. I don't think you'd have to vote on that.
I got you.
Maybe you would.
Yeah. Well,
thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dan.
Okay.
Motion adjourned.
Okay, motion to adjourn. Coomer, you made the motion. Who needs the second?
Second.
Second by Pettigo. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Meeting adjourned. Thank you all.